This is tape 4, I think, and I'm not going to give you the background. I won't get to the point I was trying to make. If you care enough to know what's really going on in this country and how it affects you, maybe you better go back. I've got a whole bunch up, but the last 4, they've got, this will be the 4th one, and you can tell which one it is, and I'll put the numbers on it. I had a book about mind control I wrote, and Larry Flynt was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia, while I was writing it in Marietta, Georgia. Had a letter from the FBI, June the 23rd, 79, ongoing investigation, national security involved. April the 1st of 80, I had antifreeze put in me and should have died. You talk about hell, that's hell. Illegally crossed the state line, worked for the district attorney in Huntsville, Fred Simpson, in 80. Simpson is in Wallace Simpson that married a double, not my father. My father married, so history is a lie. Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, sister to George O'Keefe, that's my mom. His own brother's here with Roosevelt in 39, the year I was born, planning my kidnapping in 41. The Kennedys helped. Elizabeth, part of the New World Order that kidnapped me, she's still a member. So's Hillary and little Chelsea and Bill, and all of them were the presidents except Jimmy Carter, as far as I know. Anyway, this is a rotten family. They gave me the name of a twin when they dropped me off in this pigsty. Lina was a psychopath, killed her twins, Peggy and Carl. They gave me the name of Peggy, a dead twin, both of them. Killed by her, the family covered it up, and I still have to use the name Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married Childers. They even changed, all of it's been done so that it's plain to anybody. They even changed the dates of birth on the birth certificates in Montgomery, which it says right on there, it's illegal, you can't do it. You have to use those, excuse me, for passports and legal. So everything's been done out there so nobody could doubt it. So I've put up here the times I saw the FBI and what they said to me. And I'm going to get this if it'll go, and I'm going to stop if it'll get up on here. Got the letter from the FBI, and I had been to a picnic with them at Piedmont Park in 1979. Yeah. And the person I call Michael Ken, I remember met me, and he hugged me. I liked him very much. Come find out he's not the Michael Ken. He was an agent, but I thought his name was Michael Ken. It wasn't. Anyway, some agents were there and a picnic, and they were all very nice to me. And then I've been told, and I vaguely remember it, that I was seen with him on other, so I don't know. I'll leave that out. Anyway, I wanted to get to the times I went back because all this was allowed to happen and ongoing to me. I had a letter from the FBI June the 23rd of 79. Flynt shot. Well, I can't. I've already shown that, the endorsement and being flown out there. Now, went back. I'm on the street freezing after all this happened. Sajak and one I thought was Michael Ken, I just talked to him on the phone. He said, if you'll come down here, this is winter, I'm on the street walking, and flip-flops on. No place to stay, nothing. Still in the condition that didn't wear off antifreeze. I was lucky to be alive, even if it was living in hell. But you don't just recoup. So anyway, I called, come down, and did see me right then. I went down and waited and waited. Then they came out, and it's not the Michael Ken I knew. Sajak, that I knew his name. I'm not sure I'd talked with him, and I remember they'd put me on hold and say we're stacking them, okay, like stacking the crimes, and like later the Virginia Tech stack. If you want to go back and look at the shooting there's more than that would prove it. So these murders were done in patterns, mind control, because mind control, you can't see, it's invisible. So you'd have to have something like patterns done to prove it. And they have been. But as of right now, it can be shoved under the rug again. Anyway, where they told me to come right down, and I did, they made me wait, come out, and walked around me for 20 minutes circling my chair and saying they didn't have time to talk with anyone, but his estates are VIPs. So in other words, what are you getting from it? They did have time. They circled the wagon, so to speak, me. But so they tell me I'm a head of state, and I found out in '83 who my dad, Edward VIII, is, and I'm Victoria II, legal heir to the British Crown. And I was telling about mind control murders, and James Holmes is one of those that was programmed. It has nothing to do with mental illness. So I'm gonna go to still had the car in '84 from Flynt, and pumping gas at Ronica's Exxon station in Grottoes, and Noe comes in, and he's an FBI agent supposed to be retired. His wife worked in personnel at the FBI office downtown, the Hoover, so the headquarters. So anyway, they would come in, and he told me in front of Wilma Reinica, Montgomery Reinica, and she walked away when he was telling her. These have been friends because he's supposedly retired for a while. He said to me, they, meaning the FBI, have made it so ludicrous. Everybody knows that you're telling the truth. It gives them a chance to help you or walk away. Well, they couldn't walk fast enough. So then I'm going to fast forward and leave out the other. God knows it's been up. I can't tell it all, the really horror stories, but I've tried. Okay, I'm in Grottoes in October of I'm without a car or anything, on the side of the road again, no jobs, they're blocked. I'm living on the Appalachian Trail up here in Troutville off Mountain Pass Road, up and down to Cornelius and Apple Orchard Falls and Lambert's Meadow, freezing, starving, begging. Nobody wants to become involved in it. So I'm going to get to, at one point there, I'm still without money or anything, and I go to the FBI headquarters, and I can't find his name, James. His last name, he was a U.S. congressman, and he knew about my kidnapping, and I got correspondence from him. Can't remember his last name. He died of cancer, though. But I walked up to him in front of the Post building, the Federal, and I don't know when this would have been, between about 73, 74, or something like that. And, yeah, and I walked up to him, and it's like he knew I was coming. He had a Roanoke Times in his hand, and I asked him, I said, do you know who I am? And he said, yes, I do. And he told me that the FBI and the paper would help me. Well, I'll leave it at that. Later, when it was so bad, I am living on the trail. The rangers are told to run me and do, so I go back to the FBI office, Post building, Roanoke, where Larry Flynt, by the way, Falwell sued him about the parody, which he showed me when I was out there for whatever reason, Mr. Flynt did. But anyway, I went to the FBI headquarters there here in Roanoke, and they don't usually let you in. It's like the agent or agents are back there behind the walls, and you can't get through. So he had him come out, the agent, to the little waiting room that was little, and he sat beside me. And I asked him, I said, I had a letter from the FBI, and I started to tell him about that. And he said, well, and I said, and by the way, I was kidnapped and brought over here, and I'm almost afraid to say it. I said, would you like to see the where they changed the dates and they gave me the name of a twin, and that's not me. He starts yelling like a crazy guy. Okay, remember what I said, that they made it so ludicrous? The agent said that, no. So he's doing this like a wild person. That's how they portrayed me. But it's the people that let it happen. Never, never. It's the people. So he's screaming and yelling, get out of here, get out of here. I don't want to hear about kidnapping's a birth certificate. He said, but I will send our best agent out there to talk with you. I said, as if he didn't know it, I said, well, I'm living on the Appalachian Trail. Well, he knew that. So Robert shows up, and Robert's the U.S. Marshal. He shows up, and they've got me living out there It was horrifying. Uh,